Now, you guys are probably thinking that why Sonic Generations was actually returning for our YouTube channel. That's only because of how the fact that recently, thanks to the forms of Sonic Stadium website, that he did restate it portionally, is the fact that, you know, the bonus edition zone, but in forms of this particular version of the game, specifically on the Xbox 360 version / Xbox One, because this game is now in a backwards compatibility in the forms of Xbox One now. And recently, how the fact that, you know, the Casino Nights DLC, that originally it was supposed to be a pre-orders only, but in forms of the Sonic Generations Collector's Edition, well, turns out that this game actually has itself the Casino Nights DLC returning, but now it's time for free updates. Even then though, thank you SEGA for actually able to actually let us now finally experience the DLC of Sonic Generations for the very first time. So I should say 6 years and a half better late than never syndrome. So even then though, yeah, because of that though, that this game did you know, first came out in 2011, so we first thought to ourselves, what am I actually going to be doing for this video just for the sake of like, I know originally that Duffy was supposed to be coming back onto Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360 at this point, but we'll just get this video out of the way first, so that I just want to show you guys about that. So, hey everybody, this is me, Mario here, and Blossom here. It's been a while since we're actually coming back to this game, and welcome back for some of the Maxi Toys. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll present to you possibly the final ever video of Sonic Generations for the Xbox 360 / PlayStation 3. Because I remember that during the likes of about a year ago, that last time we actually did touch this game is the forms of how the fact that we actually showcased off some extra things, most notably Super Classic Sonic and Super Modern Sonic, especially noticeable with the forms of the entire environments as being colored out, especially with the homing attack for Classic Sonic and the figurines that you get from the hidden room, or the statue room I should say, and possibly any other stuff in here and there as well. So now it's about time to actually go ahead and get started by the forms of Casino Nights Zone. Now, if for those of you probably wondering, yes, this was originated by the forms if you ever actually access to the collector's edition of Sonic Generations back in June in 2011, but it wasn't until in 2018, well, specifically for the Xbox 360 version of the game, thankfully it's now finally included this. You can play pinball here, use the flippers to knock Sonic around, and go for a higher score. So yeah, basically, kind of unlike how it does in the forms of how it does in the 3DS version of Sonic Generations. Actually, before I get to this kind of stuff, let's go ahead and explain the controls. So even though this is how the controls work. Basically, you'd have to tilt the pinball machine, but you have to move with the analog stick, and use the left bumper and the right bumper until you're able to actually activate the flipper. And also, that could be same applies by the forms of the spring counterpulse, but in forms of the A button and the X button can do some specific things, specifically for Classic Sonic or Modern Sonic. So, yeah, that's basically how this goes. You only have like 3 tries on this particular pinball machine, just like how it does in the forms of Casinopolis level, in the forms of, you know, Sonic Adventure 1. But except the fact that in Sonic Adventure 1, normally has like 2 pinball types, but in forms of Sonic's pinball machine, especially noticeable by the forms of Nights into Dreams version. So, this is what the actual level itself of the forms of Casino Night Zone, in this case a Casino Nights DLC in this particular Sonic Generations on the Xbox 360 / PlayStation 3, is the fact that, well, it's basically whoever gets the highest score, we're able to actually tell how much score you've had. So, as we mentioned this earlier, you only have like 3 tries to able to actually just do this pinball machine minigame. It's entirely optional though if you want to able to actually showcase off of this particular mode. But I will say though is that again, I'm really glad that how SEGA have now finally recently released a free DLC of this particular zone everywhere else in the forms of the Xbox 360 version. Unfortunately, there's no luck but in forms of the PlayStation 3 version, unfortunately. Although I kind of wish how it does it in the PlayStation 3 version, because if it does, then we can able to simply enjoy Sonic Generations a lot more. So, speaking about that, it's been a long while since we're actually coming back to this game, because I believe you know how the fact that last time we actually did tackle for this game is probably because of how the fact that, well, because you know the Sonic Forces and especially Sonic Mania's celebration dates and all that stuff. Yeah, I think that's the prime example of how the fact that it's been a long time coming since we actually now finally jump into this game again. And it did happen during the likes of the 20th of April, which is not too while ago, and as a result, when it gets to the 20th of April, the update managed to happen, and as a result, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna be boosting up my Sonic Generations game, and I'm sure enough, I will definitely gonna be able to actually add the DLC on my own time. What the? Hello? That was bizarre. Oh my god, I have no idea what's happened right there. But yes, what happens is though is the fact that, oh yeah, you can able to actually use, classic Sonic Spin Dash, but you can only use it about 3 times, because if you manage to use it 3 times, then you pretty much run out of your Spin Dash ammo, which even then, or in this case, a Spin Dash ability. So, yeah, and as far as compared to modern Sonic version of this particular level, although again, it's basically based off from score-based system. And yes, Casino Night Zone was basically based off from the returning level ever since during the likes of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. In this case, the best ever 2D Sonic games ever made, amongst others Sonic Mania at this point. Especially notable with Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckle... Are you for real? What's up with collision detection right there? Oh man, that was actually really rough there. But hey, at least we got ourselves 7,940 points. Not the best run through I might as well consist of, but believe me, for this point, folks, for us though anyway, this is actually our first time we're ever going to be experiencing this particular rendition of Casino Night Zone in the forms of this particular version of Sonic Generations, because in the 3DS version, Casino Night's level acts out like the actual level in the forms of the 3DS version, but the Xbox 360/PlayStation 3 version is basically just a pinball machine, which is even then known as something related to a minigame. So anyway, now we're going to be showing you off by the forms of the modern Sonic's version of this pinball machine, just to let you all know of how the fact that everything else will be doubly checked, and yeah, that's all I can tell by this point, so yeah. So here's that classic Sonic, let's get this little cool attitude, and hopefully we'll actually get into the main action here. So, somehow it doesn't matter what version of either modern Sonic or classic Sonic you guys will go for, even then though, the pinball machine plays exactly like how it does it between Sonic, classic Sonic, and especially with modern Sonic. So the actual pinball machine doesn't change the layout, so it's pretty much the same stuff though after all. But honestly, I don't mind about it too much, because even then though, it's really cool to see how the fact that, well, I finally get to my experiencing this particular DLC from the very first time, because even then though, since that we first got this game back in during the likes of Christmas 2011, if you guys want to check that out, then by all means you can able to do that. And basically we haven't got a collector's edition of Sonic Generations, probably because of how the fact that, well, first off, I wasn't really a big fan of how the fact that with the forms of the German rating system of how it works, how the fact that when it just decides to shifts over to the Peggy 7 to the side, which I wasn't really a big fan of it, to be honest. It's one of these the exact same way as how it does in the forms of any other limited edition renditions of the forms of certain Wii U stuff, or maybe just Nintendo related stuff that normally has like a purplish triangle, means represents like a multitude of languages and all that stuff. Yeah, that's as far as I'm concerned with this though, Mario. But even though, yeah. So, there's quite a few things I just want to mention about this, is the fact that, well, obviously, as we mentioned this earlier, that, unfortunately for the PlayStation 3 owners, well, doesn't seem to have ourselves any luck with the forms of this DLC for this just yet. I'm really hoping that will be the case, but even then, yeah, as far as I can say. And, the sad thing about the forms of, we're still able to watch My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, Season 8 at this point, that the episode we're actually going to at this point is actually forms of episode 6 at the moment. But even then though, that was the episode that for some reason got leaked at the back in June 2017, which we technically watched for the very first time. Which even though, that's actually a good thing for me though, because even then though, that if you actually did not see it, then you might as well able to double check of the actual main final product of the actual episode as far as it will go. And the sad thing about the final version of that particular episode, because normally in the leaked version of episode 6, that it doesn't usually play music in the backgrounds, because even though that sounds a little bit odd. But we're hoping for the actual final product of the forms of the actual episode itself, which I'm actually looking forward to it. But sadly though, the Hasbro is once again going to be able to be blocking some of these content here and there, which even though I have to be brutally honest here, folks, and I'm sorry for a little bit of a strong language for this point, but that just really pissed me off to no end. Yeah, because whatever we were so used to with body forms of how the fact that, well, we still enjoy the show ever since during the likes of 2012, whenever I firstly introduced into the Brony community and all that stuff. But it's just how the fact that the stupid thing about the forms of whenever we were so excited by the forms of the next episode in the lineup, but next thing happens notice is the fact that we easily got screwed over thanks to the Hasbro Studios did once again block the actual well, pretty much for the entirety of the episodes, even for the actual My Little Pony Friendship is Magic show itself, specifically onto YouTube, which it feels really stingy though, especially noticeable that how the fact that, well, I remember that a long time ago, back in June in 2012, I constantly found myself rewatching myself most of the episodes of Season 1 and Season 3 back to back, so even then I am well able to actually enjoy those again. But even then, it runs perfectly fine on YouTube, but every now and then, since back in during the likes of 2013 at this point, well, unfortunately though, that most of these videos are becoming pretty much unwatchable due to how some of these stuff is being blocked due to copyright claim, which still is really bugging me, and I'm pretty sure it might be consumption more likely than that. So you're probably wondering how the fact that, yeah, as far as I can say how this will turn out to be, but anyways, so yeah, that's all I could say about the forms of Casino Night DLC in the forms of Sonic Generations, most notably on the Xbox 360/Xbox One, because I've already mentioned this before. This game now finally has a backwards compatibility in the forms that is now finally being played in the forms of Xbox One. So it's a pretty cool way to able to actually add in more Sonic games to the lineup, but unfortunately it will be a downloadable only, or maybe just physical releases or something like that. But I'm not entirely sure. But even then, we'll see what happens there. So anyways though. So yeah, you're gonna be messing around with the pinball machine, and I'm, you know, super glad that I've now finally going to be experiencing this mode, because yeah, because even then though, if someone else actually going to be experiencing this particular stage, even in forms of the pinball machine itself, thankfully though, the PC owners managed to able to download this for free at any point. But back in the day, by the forms of 2011, that the forms of the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 version needs to still able to do a pre-order bonus only, by the forms of actually access to this particular level by the forms of Casino Night's DLC stage. But thankfully though, in the forms of, you know, in 2018, which was about right about now, and thankfully though, that I'm pretty sure, I'm really glad they actually add this in. Oh, we're now going onto the elevator. So yeah, I think that particular event though, Mario, that I'm pretty sure that event did usually happen during 4 days ago, which is not too while ago actually. So we're going to be knocking over these poker chips, and you're going to have to get used to with a lot of usage of the flippers, and like it onto the slot machine. I really love the visual cue of this particular zone, because even though it's pretty gorgeous to look at, especially noticeable with these neon lights. And we got something rewarding by the forms of rings. Because yes, basically, in order to actually access to the slots machine, is the fact that you need to keep on grabbing those tokens. And if you manage to grab either 5 of them, and you weren't able to get yourselves a good chance to able to get yourselves a really damn good scores. Which even though that you might as well see why until we're able to finish that particular run through of the forms of Modern Sonic's you know, Casino Night's pinball machine and all that stuff. Although the music is the same thing as how it does in the forms of the 3DS stage in the forms of Sonic Generations Casino Night level, so that's pretty good. But even though that's more likely based off from Act 2's rendition of the forms of Casino Night Zone, because you know, for Modern Sonic's version instead of like the classic Sonic's counterparts. But yeah, you get the idea for this point, Mario. But anyways though, but unfortunately though, for the PlayStation 3 owners, they still need to able to actually anticipate, they still need to accept the fact that, well, we're still able to actually do it without it though, because even then, I kind of wish, you know, the PlayStation 3 owners were able to actually experience for this stage all by itself. Because yeah, I'm feeling incredibly bad for Sony's department, because even then, you know. So yeah, that's all I can say about this particular video at this point, because we just want to update this before definitely we'll get back into Sonic Unleashed for the Xbox 360/PlayStation 3, so that we figure to ourselves that I'll put in the link in the description below to see if how the fact that if you guys desperately want to go and play Casino Nights level in the forms of the Xbox 360 version of Sonic Generations, and I'll put the link in the description below the video, specifically on Sonic Stadium website, and then you can understand of how the fact that you can now actually finally download this DLC for free. So anyway, we got ourselves 27,370 points for Modern Sonic's version of Casino Nights Pinball Machine, and that's about it for this video at this point, folks. So yeah, this is me, Blossom, and Mario here for the Forms of the Maxi Toys videos. And there's to say this right now, that the Sonic Generations Let's Play is fully completed. Because originally we were trying to say that we probably could originally trying to tackle for this level right there, but it was originally never planned, but until in 2018, then we changed our mind. So we thought to ourselves we might as well do that. So yeah, see you guys then. Bye! Man, I can't believe that SEGA actually listens to us for once.